Hello, gorgeous Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading. I'm back with a weekly, so this will be for the 20th to the 26th of October. An animal spirit that I pulled out for you is the butterfly, which, as we might know, is about evolution and transformation. So let's see what is going on for you guys during this week. So the energy of the butterfly is with us during periods of transition. Since air is the element of the heart, this change usually involves relationships, or if you love your job, perhaps your career. Since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, be extra patient and kind during this time, especially if the butterfly is you. Let solid friends and activities support you like a cocoon. Committing to one daily routine, a meal, practice, or prayer done at the same place and time will do wonders for lifting a butterfly's spirit. Oh, and it says undergoing great change and transformation. So there we go. You guys are transforming, or there is something in your life that's transforming. So maybe it feels a little bit shaky, or everything feels a little bit, I don't know. I feel a bit anxious when I think about it. It feels a little bit like, oh no, what's gonna, like, maybe deep down, I feel a bit, I don't know. I feel like my stomach. I feel a bit like, oh, I'm excited, but I'm also really nervous and scared. Whatever it is, just know that you're safe. And again, as I said, maybe having something that anchors you and grounds you during this week, whatever that is, spending time in nature, having that routine, whatever it is, will be very helpful in grounding you. All right, my angels, but let's see what other messages you have for the week for Aries. Okay, so you have all that glitters coming through, and it always kind of reminds me of the phrase, not all that glitters is gold, meaning that things that might seem shiny and incredible on the surface might not really be underneath. So as you can see, there are masks here. So it is kind of looking deeper than on surface level, okay? And I just feel like I wonder if you guys might be comparing yourself to others and feel like, why am I not there yet? And it's like, just be aware of who you're comparing yourself to, because things might look all great for them on the surface, but maybe deep down they're not very happy. So just don't compare yourself to surface level things and the surface layer of things, right? Not everything is as it seems. And also, it is a card that does say pay attention to maybe caring too much about the superficial things, just in general, right? That could be money and stuff like that, because they really want you to go deep during this week. It's not just about that. It could be about doing something that you love, right? Or bring purpose into the world. That should be the main thing, and everything else will follow, right? There's no harm in wanting material things, by the way. It's just, I guess, it's how we're chasing it, or our perspective around it, that's important. But anyway, let's see what else. So we have a lot going on for you. Let's see what else is going on for Aries. We have Unfinished Symphony. So when this card comes in, it is a card about kind of completing old cycles. And that could also be projects, right? Maybe you're bringing back an old idea and really finishing it out. This can also really be about connections. It could be a sign that during this week, whatever you're lacking closure in, you're probably going to be seeking it or receiving that closure, okay? And bringing more harmony into your life because of it. So I'm going to figure that out for you. But usually when that card comes in, it could be an ex or someone from the past popping up here. And really, the main thing is, it's not really for you to fully be with them and all that kind of stuff and invite them into your life, but it is about closing the chapter out. So maybe there's some words that might be needing to be shared, or maybe this is a chance to bring harmony to the situation where it might be impacting your life more than you know. So it's a good time right now to close out old cycles. And what do you call it? It is like loose ends. Tying up loose ends is a theme for you guys during this week, okay? So maybe it's time to have that conversation, or maybe it's a time to just finish the project so it stops weighing on your mind, because whatever it is in the background. I always hear a song with this card, but a key is off. And although it could be fine and left alone, it just feels like it's irritating in the background. So when you get rid of whatever this is, whether you guys are releasing during this time or whether you guys are actually having a conversation, whatever it is that you're finishing out, when you do that, I think you're going to realize how calm you can be afterwards, because what they're showing me is, as a metaphor, is kind of like when an extractor fan is on and like you don't realize how overstimulating it is until you turn it off and you realize, oh, the room actually is way more silent than it was. It's that kind of thing. I know you can relate if you can, but anyway, let's dive into your reading. I'm gonna get you some chakra cards as well. So let's see for Aries during this week. Let's see for Aries, please, Spirit. prayer. So this came up for Virgo. So Spirit wants you to talk to them a bit more, right? Speak what it is that you desire into the world, or what it maybe if even is hello, maybe it's what you want to let go of, right? I just feel like it's about giving it to God a little bit here, or the universe, right? And when life gives you lemons, it's time to make lemonades. Make the most of what you get, I guess, in life. Okay. Even if it's bitter or sour things, you can turn it into something sweet and profitable. That's why I feel like I just see a lemonade stand. That's why I'm saying profitable. It's like, okay, life gives you lemons. It's like, what am I going to do with this? And then you can actually make a bit of money from it for some of you. Um, if that's for you, you probably would know already, but that's a bit random. What else do I get from this? I feel like sometimes maybe some, bad situations or a breakup or whatever can actually teach you something. So don't just, I don't know. And what I'm seeing is they don't just have the lemons. These are ingredients that you can use with other things in your life. So this lesson is something that you can use in your life and turn it into something that's actually beneficial to you. So it's kind of giving alchemist. It's giving alchemist, meaning that maybe someone's paid you off, right? Maybe someone's made you upset and sad, but those are actually quite powerful emotions to transform your world too, right? If you use them to, I don't know, become better, or use them to fire you or fuel you in some ways. There's a lot of successful people who do that, of course, by making peace with it too. So prayer also asks you to get clearer on what you want, right? And especially with the all that glitters card is saying, don't just tell me about the money. Don't just tell me that you want to be rich, right? How much? How do you want to get there? What do you want to do with it? What does that look like? What does that feel like to you? So really get more specific about what you want. Instead of saying, I want to get rich, start talking about, okay, how much money do you want to make a month, right? For example, or how much you want to make a year? Like, let's get more specific, because the more specific you get, I feel like the more it's actually going to happen, because you're starting to believe it, because you're seeing that there is a way. Okay, anyway, let's see. All right, let's see. So Spirit says, what do you want? Write it down, please. Anything else for Aries? Okay, bittersweet. That's really strange given the fact that we were just talking about the lemons, and then you have forgiveness. So bittersweet is a throat chakra here. So it's about your expression. But the storyline behind this card is saying that maybe there is some things in your life that are quite bitter right now, right? And this card specifically speaks about a loss of someone, or anniversary of a loss of someone. And the sweet, though, is kind of like, okay, let me explain the story. So I feel like this is the anniversary, or around the time that they lose someone, but it's also someone's birthday too. And that's what they speak about celebrating, even when there is something going on in their lives, right? So I feel like that's what's coming through for you. That there might be some bitterness going on around you, but you also got some lemonade to make. I don't know, it feels like a bit like making the most of a bitter situation, finding peace with something, whatever way. I mean, forgiveness there too. So I do feel a bit like there is a bit of lemons in your life, and it's time to turn it into something sweet again, as I was saying. And I feel like forgiveness can do that. And I wonder if that is a conversation with someone where it's like, do you know what? Let's clear the air. Even though it hurts to do that because they really hurt you, whatever it is, it's like it's time to let it go so I can have more sweet in my life, more nice things. Anyway, what am I talking about? Let's dive into your tarot. Let's see. Let me see for Aries. If it's resonating so far, feel free to click the like button and subscribe if you've not already. But anyway, let's see what's going on with you guys during the week for Aries, please. Any messages that you have for Aries during this week? We have judgment. This is a big time for forgiveness, not even going to lie, because judgment is again about releasing, surrendering, and letting things go, especially when we have the Five of Cups. So that means that there has been maybe a battle that you feel is lost, or something that has disappointed you, things you cannot change, right? Things that have got you emotionally. The judgment is about surrendering, giving that to God, right? Giving that and surrendering that so you can move on to new levels and chapters in your life. And they're showing me like, okay, really random. And I don't know how you might apply this metaphor to your life, but what they're showing me is like, ending a really good book. Maybe that's a bittersweet. It feels like, yeah, like it feels like the book has come to an end, which is upsetting. but sweet because I don't know, you got the full story. I don't know, I don't know what that means, but it's like something is like a mix of emotions. And judgment, anyways, is about you moving forward, anyways. So, which is a great thing. Anyway, let's clarify judgment. It's about truth and it's about clarity, and it is also a card of forgiveness, right? So let's see. Why is judgment here for Aries? The devil. Now, this is seeing something for what it really is. When we have judgment and the devil, if you think about Judgment Day, right, that is kind of a card of really acknowledging when something is not healthy or good for you. So that's some truth and clarity that's coming up at this time. And of course, it could be that maybe you guys are again like mending or cutting ties with this devil energy. And that could be a toxic person or someone that you might have been a bit obsessed with lately, or someone's been obsessed with you. Whatever it is, it's like an unhealthy addiction, right? That's what the devil can represent. Or releasing fears as well could be a big thing coming up, or releasing the superficial, right? Whatever has got you chained up. Okay. All right. Anything else about that judgment? Anything else? Hierophant. That's interesting. Because I feel like these two are kind of similar. Instead of fear, you're now moving into faith. Instead of toxic, maybe sexual connections, you're moving into more committed ones, right? Because this is a kind of commitment and it's more traditional. Whereas a devil can be temptation, bad habits and stuff like that. Maybe whatever it is, it feels like you're going from something that was not very healthy for you and you're starting to follow something that is healthy for you and is all about your faith. If you think about the Hierophant, these people down here, I'm going to show you the difference between these two cards. These people are following this person out of fear and also because of control, whereas these people are following this person out of choice and faith. So I wonder what that means to you. Any other messages that you have for Aries? Three of Cups reverse is interesting because usually this is a card of gratitude, it's a card of celebration, a card of friendship and stuff like that, but it's reverse, which would be, I guess, the opposite. But let's clarify. Why is the Three of Cups here for Aries? The Five of Cups. So this usually is 3 cups spilt. So I guess in a way that could be about releasing something. Maybe you had a conflict with someone that's really got you down, right? There's something that you're hyperfixating on that's no longer in your life, right? What could this be? Can you give me a sign of what this is in Aries' life? What is spilt here? 8 of Pentacles. So this could have been like something to do with work or money. Stability even as well. Because 5 of Pentacles would be that as well. You know, maybe some of you guys are moving on from a workplace. And that's a bit bittersweet. Sweet because you're moving into something new and amazing, but bitter because you're having to leave behind some people who you really care about, right? Your community. All right, anything else? What's going on for Aries during this week, please? We got a lot of messages, to be fair. What's going on for Aries, please, during this week? What is something that you want them to know? Okay, 7 of Swords. Don't like that. And the Page of Wands. Now, be aware. I feel like some of you might have a fake friend, okay? And that could be maybe the unfinished symphony. This feels like someone who went behind your back and spoke bad things about you or was two-faced. Because Page of Wands is about gossip, especially with the 7 of Swords here. I feel like there's someone who might get information from you to tell others, or someone who only wants to check in with you just to be cheeky and whatever, but they don't really have intentions on staying around. That's an energy coming through. And then the Page of Swords is here as well. And this is about someone who's triggered or jealous. And the Lovers. So this could have been a Gemini, or again, this could be someone that you were intimate, or I don't know why I said that word, or romantic with. Okay. Right. And why is the Page of Wands here? The Moon. Exactly that. Hidden intentions, right? And the 7 of Swords, but both of them about secrets as well. 7 of Swords and the Magician. So that's someone who's very fake. Because if you think about a magician, when it's paired with like a sneaky card, it's someone who has a persona. you know, someone who does magic tricks, you know, there's always a, I don't know how to describe it. They've always got something up their sleeve, is what I feel like with this energy. And on the outside, they have a specific persona, but they've actually got, you know, tricks behind them, or tricks up their sleeve, should I say. This feels quite manipulative. Someone who you, yeah, again, on the surface looks a specific way, but deep down they're not. And I feel like that's something that you need to remember with the all like glitters. You know, this could be someone who may have gaslit you, or again, promised you things and then just didn't fulfill it, because again, they have this persona. They have a, yeah. And the Page of Wands, what can you tell me? Is that gossip, or what is that? Okay, we got a few. Let's look at them together. So you have the Two of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, King of Swords. This is someone who is not certain, right? Because this is someone who could be quite like very, King of Swords is very direct and also very cold at times. Two of Pentacles tells me this is someone who might have been juggling things, or again, like hot and cold. Knight of Cups is then someone who's emotional and putting their heart out, but then someone who also has a guard. So they're just showing up as a mixture of things. So with the Page of Wands being here, I just feel like, yeah, hot and cold. Like, you know, Page of Wands is like, like this is fun, but then they go to be serious. Okay, whoever this is, I feel like they, neither once is a wounded warrior. So this is someone who is quite defensive or will protect their heart anyway. So I wouldn't go accepting anything from anyone who is showing you being hot and cold, okay? No matter who it is. It doesn't have to just be relationships. Really could just be anyone. Because Page of Wands, it just feels like someone who just likes the fun of something, you know? But the Moon is like, it's never really, yeah, the Hermit. I feel like this is about you needing to look at it through a higher lens, right? And understanding it from a place of wisdom, right? In the middle of it, it can feel very painful and hurt, but I feel like you know more than anyone, Aries, that this person is just deeply immature and probably has a lot going on emotionally, even though it doesn't, you know, just miss anything that they've said and done. But someone's going to be kind of messed up inside to be this way, you know, insecure or whatever. The Moon is kind of feeling like their own feelings as well. Anyway, moving on from that, I want to see what is going on for you moving forward, because we do that butterfly. So what is on the horizon for Aries then, with that being said and done? What is this transformation? Ooh, Two of Pentacles. So this is you building something, making decisions, maybe juggling a few jobs or trying to increase your income, for example. Why is it Two of Pentacles here? Okay. Okay. Look, the Empress and the Three of Cups. Rebuilding what you feel was lost, right? Rebuilding from disappointment. The Empress is all about knowing your worth, knowing your value, sitting from a loving, unconditional place. And Three of Cups is about having people who surround you with love, right? Celebrating what you've got around you. So Two of Pentacles is about you coming out of an old life and maybe some old things and really entering a new chapter of yourself where you know your worth, you know your value. You probably will be better at placing boundaries with people, having new friends, new community, and just feeling more grateful and more celebratory of what's coming your way. Because if you think about the Empress as well, she is open to receiving, and therefore the universe provides. She knows her worth, knows what she wants, the universe gives it to her. So it kind of makes some sense here with that prayer as well. Some of you could be celebrating, if you are in like a healthy relationship, for example, you could be celebrating a pregnancy, because the Empress and the Three of Cups could be celebrating, you know, becoming a mother. That's just for some, of course. It's not going to resonate with everyone, but it could just be whatever you're wanting to bring to life. That could be career, business, or just you, your identity, this new version of yourself. Then that is also something that you'll be celebrating too. All right. So there we go. Aries, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys like and subscribe. But aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next one. All right.